doing?
How's it going?
Officer Martinez on a police department.
Nice
Hey man, we've stopped you before, right?
For sure.
Yeah. Hey, obviously you know the reason for the stop, man. I saw that you
the
removed
plates?
your license plate.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Do you have your driver's license with you?
What's the reason?
You know the reason.
Right, but so you're saying that I don't have the license plate, so you need to identify me?
Yes, it's a traffic infraction. I mean, we had a really long discussion, like an hour and a half.
Yeah, for sure.
What, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
No, I for sure. It's all on video. I remember it.
Yeah.
So I can provide my driver's license since I'm basically you're asking me to provide it for you, right?
Yeah, I'm asking.
So, respectfully, you already know my name, so
I don't. I just remember you said it was like Blackfoot because you're Native American.
Right. That's the license plate. I mean, that's the name that I would prefer to go by, but the state knows me by this name. Here's my driver's license. I can provide you the contract because I do have it with me this time. So last time that I encountered you, I wasn't able to provide the contract because I didn't have it on me, but I do have it on me right now.
Can I take a look at it?
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be my briefcase.
You said you bought this car from your cousin, right?
Yeah, so it's my cousin's wife's vehicle, but he's the one that kind of hooked me up. Let's see.
So it should be rather apparent that the driver is clearly a knucklehead. He's already been pulled over for the same nonsense, yet he's still trying to drive around with his fictitious plates again. I guess he's one of those people that are a firm believer of, if first you don't succeed, try again.
So this is what I gave the trooper that, obviously has nothing to do with the contract.
Is this the code of ethics?
Yeah, that's the code of ethics. I mean, here's the contract. So yeah, and it's kind of a lengthy contract, but there's just a few clauses that kind of outline.
Who did this contract?
I did.
Okay.
So it was drafted by me, signed to and agreed by the lady that owned this vehicle.
Right. Yeah, I'm not gonna pretend and act like I understand all of it, man.
Yeah, there's a definition section kind of put in plain language.
Saw that.
Yeah. So it's not trying to be like over anybody's head, I'm trying to be fully plain language, like anybody can interpret it. They don't have to be like versed in legal jargon, you know what I mean? So
wait a second. So you pull out a contract that you drafted yourself and then turn around and say you didn't want to make it complicated for someone to read it. They don't have to be versed in legal jargon, yet you made a part of the contract with definitions and things of that nature. So I don't understand. Obviously, one would have to be versed in legal jargon, because if they didn't, then you would have just made it plain and simple. There would be no reason to put the definitions of words and all of that. But regardless, just because you wrote a contract up, it doesn't mean that you can now drive this car on the road with a fake license plate. You still have to go to the Department of Motor Vehicles and get that car registered in whatever state you are in.
I'm gonna be honest, I definitely don't have all the time in the world to read through this.
Yeah, for sure.
But I remember giving you my personal Gerber for you to put on your back license plate, and I'm not 100% sure if you're totally aware, but you're supposed to have license plates on the front and the back of the vehicle. And I think
that was the warning, right? Yeah, that was the warning.
Officer Palacios just said, hey, just put the back one on.
Yeah.
Was there a reason you took it back off? Because I've seen you around.
Right. Yeah, I told him, so whenever he said, like, I told him, yeah, whenever I get home, I'm probably going to take it off, officer, because...
Yeah, but I saw you, like, maybe 2 or 3 times, and I saw the license plate on there, and then I just want to know why you took it.
Oh, so you're probably talking about the day after I got pulled over or something. Like, I had just left it on there for convenience because I had to go to work. But yeah, I removed it because you know, I'm trying to make a statement, not necessarily comply with something that I think is against my freedoms. So and like I told them, it's not even registered to me. It's not even valid. So for me, like, it's just doing it for y'all.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Which
Well,
I don't really feel compelled.
With the purchase of a vehicle, the state of Texas requires that you register that vehicle within 30 days of purchasing it. And I've noticed that you purchased it April 28th.
Right.
Right. What day is today?
It's past 30 days, probably like a week past 30 days or something like that. I'm not too sure.
Did you have insurance on it, or did you do the self-insurance bond?
So I haven't done any insurance. I'm still in the process of getting my bond, you know, and I don't have a problem answering that question because
Yeah, you just answered it for me.
Right.
You just said that you don't have insurance.
Right.
And just because you said you're in the process of getting a self-insurance bond, that doesn't mean that you're still able to drive the vehicle. You need to have some sort of liability insurance in the state of Texas.
Yeah, I'm aware of your position, but like I said, I'm challenging the constitutionality. If you want to, if you want to cite me, you know, there's.
It's. I feel like it's coming past that point, man. I feel like a lot of the officers have been pretty understanding. I definitely support what you do.
Yeah.
And I definitely support your freedoms and things like that. But you have to understand, you're not special. Everybody else has insurance. Everybody else registers their vehicle with the state of Texas. I understand where you're coming from when you say it's a sort of a tax on the vehicles, and I get that. But you have a driver's license. You signed it to a contract. You said you were 18 when you signed it.
And I'm actually planning on rescinding that contract with the court.
So you rescind this license, you're going to make it that much more difficult for yourself, man, because at that point, we might see you, and if you turn this over, like we've discussed before.
Right, I'm not going to turn it over now because you're not competent to rescind the contract.
No, I'm competent, man.
Well,
I just think.
I mean,
I'm not going to throw names.
I'm saying like judges.
I support everything you do.
Basically, what I'm saying, I'm not saying you're incompetent. I'm saying like only judges can rescind the contract because it has to be done like formally. Is what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're incompetent. I'm saying.
Was this done formally? Because this needs to be notarized.
Yeah, it was signed with 2 witnesses present, which is in Texas.
Was a notary public of the state of Texas, did they notarize it for you? Because this contract's null and void if there's no notary.
Well, in Texas, it can be 2 witnesses present as well. So it's a notary or.
I wasn't aware of that.
Right. You can. I mean, if you want to correct me, if you want to look it up.
No, I'm not going to correct you because I don't have the facts.
Okay.
Okay.
But
I'll obviously research it afterwards.
Right, for sure. I can provide you the phone numbers of those 2 witnesses if you would like.
I don't want to bother them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't want to bother them.
Excuse me, officer, but at this point, you're taking way too long with this idiot. The back and forth is, he's not going to learn. Don't even try to convince him to not turn his license in. So that way, next time you see him and you pull him over and he says he's turned his license in, that means he's an illegal driver. You'll be able to haul his ass to jail. Now, right now, you should still haul his ass to jail because he just admitted that the car is not insured. And in the state of Texas, and in any state, a car must be registered to be driven on a public roadway. So this man just admitted that his car isn't registered. Arrest him, tow the vehicle. That's it. All the back and forth is just too much at this point.
I get what you do, and I support it, man. I really do. Okay, I'm a patriot.
Right.
I love this country. Okay, and there are some things that I don't necessarily agree with. But the way you kind of put yourself out there.
Yeah, I'm asking for citations. I know.
Yeah,
so if you want to kind of get together.
I don't want to do that, man, because you've gotten, I don't know what, 4 citations, 5 citations already.
Right, I've already had 5 citations.
I'm not 100% sure. I know.
You want me to name them for you? Because I can put them like on the record. I'm not too worried about it. But I'm just saying, like the last time, you know, your officer Palacios, he kind of forced me to sign a contract, which I looked up the refusal to sign, and it didn't even have the 30 days to change your address offense listed as one of the offenses where.
And you could always bring that up to the judge. Right,
and I'm going to, if I even, you know, entertain the citation, because I did, you know, I was forced into it. And like I was reading the citation's bold statement, and it says that it only creates an offense by not complying with the citation if I made a promise to appear. So
whether you sign it or not, You still have to appear.
I'm sure
when
that's
you sign
like
it's like a goodwill gesture saying, yeah, I don't
consent.
agree with this citation, but I'm still gonna. I promise the court that I'm gonna appear. That's all it is.
Right, it's a promise, and like I'm not gonna make a promise that I don't feel like I have to make. So,
Right.
but he ended up making me sign it, so which is why I put threat, duress, and coercion.
Yeah.
But
I get it, man.
but yeah, like if you have any reasonable suspicion that I'm committing any crimes, I'm happy to dispel that. If you have
Hold on,
probable,
they're calling me in the
right?
room.
Okay.
822. I'm 10-4. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, if you have any reasonable suspicion that I'm committing any crimes at all, I'm happy to dispel them. If you have any probable cause that I'm committing,
the probable cause is the no license plates,
right?
The no registration, and then the no insurance.
For sure. So
you're putting yourself in a position, man, to where you're gonna get a police officer that's just gonna tow the car.
Right. And
you just bought this.
Right now, like I can
for $8,500. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So.
I mean, that's not chump change, man.
Right. And I'm not trying to.
I don't know.
I'm not trying to put. I'm not trying to risk.
People that have $8,500 laying around. You know?
Right. I'm not trying to risk just like losing the vehicle because obviously I value it, but honestly, like.
Do you have the license plates with you?
Right. You want me to put them back on? I can put them on for you.
I don't want to do that in public, man. I don't want to do that. I don't want to create a scene.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not what I want to do.
Well, I just really went to go get water. I'm going back home. I can stay up, you know. I'm not promising anything, but I'm not going to be, you know, harassing anybody. I'm not, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just doing things out of necessity, going to the store to eat, get groceries, going to get water,
right.
You know, going to wash my car, going to work. So, you know, I used to walk before I had this car. I walked, I biked everywhere, you know, if I needed to do that because you guys are basically saying you're going to steal my car. I mean, I know it's not you, it's the state, but you're acting on behalf of the state, and, you know, I don't really believe the state has that authority. If they want to...
But they do. At the end of the day, man...
Well, this is a private purchase. Like, in most... And
you're on a public roadway.
Officer, it is clear that this man just doesn't get it. He's either willfully not getting it or he's just dumb. Now... You should not be cutting this man any breaks. You should be towing the car right now. Why are you being so nice to this idiot? Do your freaking job. This is what makes these idiots believe that they're onto something because you keep letting them go. Tow his car.
Right.
At the end of the day, man.
Like I know,
it's just difficult. You know what I mean?
I know
like,
because you're under this like belief. Respectfully, everybody, like you're saying, everybody registers. Everybody has these. They have this belief that it's necessary when really it's voluntary. And
right. It would be voluntary. It would be my discretion to tow this car right now.
Right.
Okay.
So I mean, if you want to.
Now I don't want to do that to you.
Right.
But, and I don't even want to cite you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I don't know what you want me to do, man. I felt like me and Officer Palacio spent a good hour and a half with you.
Yeah.
I remember pulling up all of the transportation codes and reading them off to you because you had questions about it. But I just don't understand what you want me to do at this point.
Well,
and
really,
I still don't understand why you willingly went and, you know, took off the license plates.
Gotcha. So just to kind of clarify the reason for that, like putting those license plates on, if you read the contract, I actually can reference it. Just there's a specific spot right here.
Yeah.
It says, both parties agree that the automobile will be used freely and exclusively for private, non-commercial purposes and shall not be gauged in commerce or used in an official capacity. Therefore, both parties agree that no governmental privileges are required to travel in this automobile while in such a capacity that is founded upon right, capability, fitness, power, and freedom.
Wow! The land of make-believe!
In contrast to capacity founded upon privileges, licensure, inspection, and regulation. Right. So this is just the freedom. This is the private use clause.
Right.
And
where's the private use clause found?
What do you mean?
The private use clause. Where did you find that in the Constitution to put this in the contract?
It's under the 9th Amendment. So
Do
the
you know what the
9th and 10th Amendments.
9th and 10th Amendment?
So the 9th Amendment is where they say that just because they're enumerating certain rights doesn't deny or disparage the other rights that are unenumerated of the people. And then the 10th Amendment is actually where the state claims to derive its authority to enforce these regulations. Like what you're enforcing right now, registration, license plates, all that, it's because the state has certain powers under the 10th Amendment, but where the state fails to recognize is that the 10th Amendment doesn't just delegate powers to the states that aren't delegated to the federal government, it reserves it to the people.
Right.
So the people have equal sovereignty to the states.
It's mind-blowing to me that this man's interpretation of the Constitution could be so wrong, and yet he expects us to go along with what he believes to be true. That's not how the world works, sir.
Equal sovereignty to the states. And I know that I don't want to come off as a sovereign citizen because that's what everybody's saying, but honestly, like,
Everybody.
like people that are under the impression that, like what you said, everybody has to follow the law, you're not special. Like, I'm not saying I'm special, I'm saying that we as people aren't slaves.
Right.
And that the citizen is a creation of a state. A citizen can't exist without the state's creation of it. And so therefore the citizen is a subject to the state, which is under the 14th Amendment, which is why it says a citizen subject. So I'm not saying that I'm a citizen. That entity on the driver's license is a citizen. It was created by the state. It's a legal name. It's registered in commerce. It's how I engage in commerce, but it's not me. That's something that was created by the state and controlled by the state, obviously.
Did your parents give you this name?
Yes.
So are you calling your parents an entity or are they individuals?
Right. So the name is not the entity. The name is my calling. The government has created an entity from my name, and they use that as the transmitting utility. What's the plan? Some citations? You're going to have to tow the vehicle?
We're towing the vehicle. I'm just going to be pretty cut and dry with you right now. We're towing the vehicle. I got to issue citations, and then we'll just go from there.
So you're going to tow the vehicle for what reason?
Because you don't have registration, you don't have insurance on the vehicle, and you don't have any front, or you don't have a front license plate or a rear license plate.
So if I put on a license plate...
Last traffic stop, where you put the front license plate on camera.
The back one.
The back license plate up on camera, and then you purposely taking it off. It doesn't look too good, man.
Well, no, I told the officer I was going to do that.
I know, but you can't. Okay?
So do you want me to put it back on, or you're already set in your decision? Because you do have discretion.
Unfortunately, I'm already set in my decision.
Alrighty. Well, before you make any decisions, can you call the supervisor here? Because I don't know how long you've been on the job, but can you call the supervisor just so we can talk it out with another officer?
7 hours later.
Hi there, officer. Can I get your name and badge number?
Badge number 824. What's going on?
The last encounter I had with this police officer, he kind of was informed of the situation. I'm challenging the constitutionality of certain statutes that compel me into a contract against my will because I'm studying the law.
I don't want to hear all that story. Maybe for too long. You've been advised before you didn't insurance the vehicle. The vehicle's not registered, so because you're gonna get towed tonight. It's gonna get towed tonight.
So
anything you want to fight, argue, you have to speak with the judge. Okay, sir? Anything you need to speak with the judge. As of right now, the vehicle's going to get towed.
Okay.
You've been advised before, you need insurance on the vehicle, and your vehicle's not registered.
Right, but he told me I could put on the plate, and then I would be...
We're past that point. And you remove them again, as I can see, right?
I did remove the back one.
You're going to get towed.
Well, don't you feel like a jackass? The very supervisor you requested did not see things your way.
Sticker updated.
Right, so basically the state is stealing away my private property, putting it into another private business, and forcing me to sign their contract
Right.
forcing me to sign their contract to get it back.
I mean, you're not going to sign it.
I'm not going to sign it,
It's
but
you're dragging your cousin into this.
unfortunately, these guys are putting themselves at liability for a lawsuit. And honestly, this is ridiculous. Alright, bro. So there's gonna be a screwdriver on the bottom of the floor somewhere. It's gonna be somewhere in there. Yeah, so then there's gonna be a hole. There's a big hole and then there's a smaller hole behind it. You're gonna put it in the smaller hole.
This is a big hole here?
Yeah, there's a big hole. It's gonna be on the right side. That one right there where your thumb was in. So it's the smaller hole behind the big hole. So, you gotta like shake that. Got it. Cool.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!